Welcome to another vlog. You guys seem to really enjoy my chaotic weekly vlog that I did a couple weeks ago, so I thought we'd do it again. I thought I'd just bring you along for a couple of days, film just what I'm doing, some exciting stuff, and just have a little chit chat because I love these vlogs. I absolutely love doing these vlogs because I literally feel like I'm talking to my best friends. I just feel like I can ramble on and just honestly chat forever with you guys, and I just absolutely love it. So I thought, why not do another one? I've not really got too much going on this week, but I just thought I'd bring you along, film anything exciting, and yeah, grab a drink, grab a snack, and enjoy. I got such exciting mail yesterday and I just really wanted to show you. So, I got two packages, which I honestly just feel like the luckiest girl in the world. The first one was from a company called Olive and June, who do all things nails, literally all things nails. And they're basically doing a collab with Colleen Hoover, and they basically match their nail polish and press on nails to the covers of Colleen Hoover's books. I think there's like 4 of her books that they've chosen. They've chosen It Ends With Us, It Starts With Us, Heartburns, which I believe is her newest one, and what's the other one? November 9. I've read November 9 and It Starts With Us. Haven't read the other two, but this is honestly just so exciting because I got so many nail polishes, so many. First of all, I got this box which literally looks like a massive Colleen Hoover book. And it says It Starts With Beautiful Nails, which is a play on It Starts With Us. But it's so fun. It has like a whole blurb and this whole story of this girl getting her nails done, basically. And then inside, we've got all the nail supplies we could ever want. So we've got a little nail polish remover pot. These are my favourite things to take off nail polish. They're just so easy. And I actually needed a new one, so that's literally perfect. And then I got this little bag, which has basically everything you could ever need. It has this, which I saw on the little instruction thing, that this is squidgy. That this basically goes on top of like the nail polish handle, I guess, and it basically gives you better control to apply a nail polish. And then I also got this little brush. Then we have a nail file, we have a buffer, some clippers. These are such a nice colour. I love a baby pink. And then we have cuticle serum. So fun. I feel like I'm gonna have the most perfect nails ever. So that's in there. And then I also got this bookmark, which, how cute are these colours? That is so cute. I love, and you can never have too many bookmarks, so I'm so here for that. And then for the nail polishes, so I got a top coat. This was actually in the bag of all the necessary things that you need. I don't actually have a decent top coat, so we love that. And then the nail polishes, I'm obsessed. They're just such stunning colours. So we have this cute little blue that's called Same Day Next Year, and along with that we have this like hot pink, which I just think that is such a gorgeous summer colour, and this one's called Diner Date. Now I believe that these two are the November 9 ones, which literally match perfectly to the cover. And then the next two, this is like a really stunning pearlescent white, which I think I'm gonna really love. Stunning. Can you even see how pearlescent that is? This one's called Atlas. And then we have like a light green. These two are for It Starts With Us. And then what else do we have? It Ends With Us colours, which I love. We have Brave Blush, which is actually the colour that I've got on now, because literally yesterday, as soon as I opened this parcel, I was like, I need to try some of these. And I will say that it actually hasn't chipped at all. Usually mine chip within the same day, but it hasn't chipped yet. And I didn't even have time yesterday to use the top coat. So this is just it by itself. I did have to use 2 coats of this just because it's a bit of a paler colour. And then we have Lily Blooms, which I also think is going to be really nice in summertime. So we have them, and then the last two are for Heartburns, which is the newest one. So we have Island Time, which is like a nice pearly, shimmery lilac colour. And then we have Perfect Pinwheel, which is like a coral. Stunning, stunning. We love, they literally all look so stunning together. Obsessed. I'm obsessed. So that's my parcel from Olive and June. How exciting. And then we got book mail, which is my favourite type of mail. And I'm so excited about this book because I just feel like this book is going to be one that I absolutely love. First of all, the box is literally stunning. We love. It's got a little ribbon, and then inside we have so many goodies. This book is called Songlight and it's by Moira Buffini, and I kindly got sent an early proof copy, which I literally can't even believe that that's my life sometimes. So thank you so much to Faber and Faber Publishing, who sent me this goodie box. I'm obsessed. Basically the cover that I got sent isn't the actual real cover. So first of all we have what the cover is going to look like. I just think that is so stunning. We love. It's also all like raised, which I love it when a book has that. So this is what the cover is actually going to look like. And then I got a kind of little note from Team Faber, and I got a tote bag, which is going to be so useful. And how cute is that design? And it says sunlight will guide you, which I love. I love. And then I also got a bit about the book and a little note from the author. This book comes out 29th of August this year. And then we have the book itself, which I'm so excited about. I'm so excited. And on the back it says, they are hunting those who shine. So exciting. And then I feel like the book must be sea related somehow because of the other goodies that I got in here. I got these little chocolate fish, which is just iconic, honestly. And then this little cute box which says sunlight will guide you on the top. And inside we have a couple of shells and then a little candle in the shape of a shell as well. So cute. I'm honestly so excited for this. I literally wanted to start it straight away. It's also been signed, which we love. We love. So it's a YA fantasy, which I love YA, and I'm really getting into fantasy at the minute, so this is literally perfect. And I've been told that it's perfect for people that like Hunger Games and Fourth Wing and Shadow and Bone and that type of book. So I'm just so here for it. I just think it's going to be so good, and I'll definitely let you guys know what I think when I read it. This is also not sponsored in any way. These are just some packages that I've kindly been gifted. It's not an ad and it's not sponsored in any way. I just thought that was so exciting and I wanted to share. I'm just so excited, and I have a really good feeling about that book. I just feel like I'm gonna love it. You know, you just get that vibe from certain books. That's the vibe I get. So exciting. Hello. So I went book shopping a couple of days ago and I wanted to show you the books that I got because I'm so excited about them. So I went to the Works and Tesco and I got 5 books. Oops. So from the Works near me isn't that big of a Works. They've got this whole new TikTok section where all the popular BookTok books are. And I've been waiting for this one to show up one day. And I kept seeing on TikTok other people getting it from the Works. I could never find it in my Works. And then when I went, they had it, and that's Mile High by Liz Tomford. And this is the first one in, I think it's called the Windy City series. And I've just heard literally nothing but great things about this series, so I'm really excited. I love this cover. I love how it's all like embossed. Is that the word? I don't know. And I love how it's like got, can you see? It has Mile High like over and over again on it. I just thought that was really cute. So I don't actually know what this is really about other than it's a romance, and it's a sports romance because he plays for Chicago Hockey. And she's basically a flight attendant working for him. And I think it's sort of like a hate to love sort of thing where they don't get on at first and she like can't stand him, but then she's like attracted to him, I think. But I'm really excited for that. It's chunkier than I thought it was going to be, but it's fine. We'll survive. So happy with that. And then I got None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell, which I have been so excited to read, and I was waiting for it to come out in paperback. I literally walked into the Works and it was there for £5. £5, and I swear this would have only been released in paperback recently, I think. So to have it there already in the Works is just insane. That's crazy. And we know how much I love Lisa Jewell by now, and I'm so excited because I've literally heard nothing but great things about this, and I'm really looking forward to it. I also feel like it's going to be very different to all her other books in terms of plot, not in terms of writing. I literally want to read this right now, right this second. And then I picked up this little Diddy one, and I've never seen this book about, but I saw it and I was like, oh, that looks really cute. And this is The Ex Next Door by Jo Platt. And I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I think her ex moves in next door and I think it's a second chance romance, and it's a nice thin book, and I just feel like this is going to be a nice thing to break up my TBR. Sometimes all you need is a good rom-com vibe book. And this was in the 3 for £6 deal, but I couldn't actually find 2 books that I really wanted. And I was trying to just limit how many books I was actually buying. So this was £2.50 just by itself. And then in Tesco, there was one book in Tesco that I've been wanting for so long. And that was the time that I just decided that today is the day that I'm going to buy it. And they have the 2 for £9 deal on. So obviously I had to get 2, obviously. So the first one is the one that I really wanted, and that's The One That Got Away by Charlotte Brixton. I don't know what it is about this book. I just keep being drawn back to it whenever I see it in Tesco. It's basically about first love, but it's also about second chance romance, I think. I could be wrong. I think it's going to be quite an emotional book, which I love a book that's going to make me feel something. So I'm so here for that. It just looks really good. Just looks really good, and I'm excited for it. And the next one I actually saw in the works, and I really wanted it in there, but I couldn't justify buying that many books. But then I went to Tesco anyway and bought that many books. So it's because they had the 2 for £9 deal on that I just couldn't not. And that's The Catch by Amy Lee. This just looks like such a cute small town summer romance. It's also got the fake dating trope in, which I love the fake dating trope. I love it. And I just feel like this is going to give me all the summer vibes. I actually didn't realise that this was actually the 3rd one in a series, but I think they're all standalones. But it's basically called the Influencer series, and they all follow different types of influencers. So this one is a fashion influencer. I just thought that was really interesting. It just sounds good, and I'm excited. That's my little book haul. I'm really excited about them, and I literally want to read every single one of these right this second. Good morning. So it's actually been a couple of days since I've vlogged anything. It's currently Thursday. When did I even start this vlog? I think I started this on Saturday, and I'm not gonna lie, it has been a few days since I've vlogged anything for this vlog. And I don't know what it is this week. I've just been feeling so... I don't know how else to explain it other than slightly run down. And it's not like I'm ill or anything. I don't know what it is. I just feel exhausted. So I feel like I've been taking it a bit easier this week than I usually do. But I have been filming for a reading vlog, and there's a lot of editing going on behind the scenes. I can't even remember what the last thing I filmed for this vlog was. I don't know whether it was a book haul or it might have been baking scones. I feel like I made scones for Mother's Day, but today I'm having a pretty chill day. I'm editing, and then I thought tonight we'd have a little movie night together. I thought that would be cute. Have a little cozy night in, big film, and just chill out, basically. That's what I thought we could do. I don't know why I'm out of breath. Hello, good evening. We're gonna have a little movie night. Oh my goodness. I'm just getting Netflix up. I don't really know what I'm in the mood to watch. I kind of want to watch a film. I think I'm actually in a rom-com kind of mood, which I feel like I'm literally always in a thriller or like murder mystery or true crime documentary kind of mood. But I'm actually in the mood for a thriller at the minute, and I feel like I have some on my list that I've been saving for when I was in this type of mood. Let's have a look. I also watched Damsel the other day. I really liked Damsel. I really enjoyed it. I just thought it was great, and I love Millie Bobby Brown. I love her. She really carried the film, considering the majority of it was literally just her. I watched Your Place or Mine, which has Reese Witherspoon, and why can I literally not remember his name? Ashton Kutcher. And that's a really cute film. I actually wonder if that was a book before it was a film, because it just gives me book vibes. I don't know why. Ooh, there's Players, which has the main girl from Jane the Virgin in it. Love at First Sight. I don't know whether I've seen that one. It looks kind of familiar, but I can't really remember it. That's an option. Or I could watch like a classic old school one, like The Proposal. I love The Proposal. That's one of my favourite ever films. This is literally me just choosing a film for like 2 hours. I think I'm gonna go for Players, which I think is a fairly new one. A sports writer devises... Why can I not even speak? A sports writer devises a plan to turn a hookup into a relationship. That sounds fun. Okay, we're gonna go for Players. A nice little rom-com. I feel like I'm gonna turn this big light off because it's kind of ruining the vibe. I've got a cup of tea, of course. Of course, I've got it in my Winnie the Pooh mug, which is so cute. Can we just take a minute to appreciate? And the other side. has Piglet in ear, and on the inside it says, tea makes everything better, which, so true, so true. And I also have 2 cookies, 2 little mini ones. They're the caramel and dairy milk, like mini cookies, and they're so good. They're so good. They're from Tesco, and they're just, if you haven't tried them already, get on that. Okay. What on earth is that? My frog! He's come to watch. Oh my god. It just made that literally has to have subtitles on for everything I watch. Literally everything.
Yes.
That's Coach from New Girl.
Happy.
Oh. Hello. So it's the next day. I finished watching the film last night. It was really good. I would definitely recommend. I just really enjoyed it. It gave me all the rom-com vibes that I was looking for, so we love that. So I thought I'd do a little Q&A portion of this vlog. Yesterday I asked on my Instagram for any questions. They could be book related or not book related. It was completely up to you guys. Just anything that you wanted to ask me, anything you wanted to know. And I got quite a few, so I thought I'd just answer some of them. Let's have a look, shall we? So I had quite a few questions on how I got into reading and specific books that actually got me back into reading. And I actually have a whole video up. It's one of my first ever YouTube videos, and it goes through literally every single book that I read right at the start of my reading journey, and they're the books that got me back into reading. But some of them off the top of my head, it's actually kind of funny because during high school and like majority of my teenage years, I hated reading. I hated it. I used to see people reading and I used to just think that could never be me. That could literally never be me. And now I look back at that and I'm like, oh my god, that could just not be further from who I am right now. It's always funny to me to think back to then and like back to how books didn't even have an impact in my life back then. I did read growing up, but during my teenage years I literally didn't pick up a single book unless it was for school and I had to. And to be honest, I can't really remember why I suddenly just chose to pick up a book. I literally don't remember. I remember what it was, and that was The Silent Patient, and that is definitely one of the books that got me into reading. It wasn't like an instant thing though. I didn't read that one, finish it and then think I have to pick up another book. I just have to. It wasn't like that because a few months might go by and then I remember picking up The Night She Disappeared by Lisa Jewell, which is my first ever Lisa Jewell book that I read, and I was so gripped and I was like, wow, this is how good books can be. It was one of the first books that I got so completely lost in. The Silent Patient I absolutely loved, and I loved how twisty it was. And I could see that one so clearly because it was literally like watching all the Netflix shows that I watched. But the Lisa Jewell one was one where I completely forgot I was even reading. I was just so in that world that I was just so lost in it. And then around that time I read Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. That is a book that literally has stuck with me since I read it. I absolutely love that book. I remember reading that one really early on, absolutely loving it. And then I feel like we all had a Colleen Hoover phase at some point. Anybody that's like a big reader now, I definitely had a Colleen Hoover phase. My favourite one of hers was Ugly Love, and that was one that I read really early on and I was just so invested in that story and those characters. And I think once I realised how much joy I actually get out of books, and it's not just reading but it's looking for new books and getting really excited about buying new books and then having those new books on your shelf and just having this whole new world that you could dive into. Once I realised all the excitement kind of surrounding books, not just reading them, I was just invested. And that's how it all started. There are also a couple of books that I feel like changed my reading journey in a sense. Books that just really stuck with me and made me think I absolutely love reading. And I feel like they're the books that kind of made me really carry on. They're books like If He Had Been With Me by Laura Nowlin. That was the first book that I just absolutely fell in love with. And We Were Liars by E. Lockhart, which I know so many people have so many mixed opinions about, but I personally absolutely love that book. I love the way it's written. I love the plot. I just loved it. I loved it. And then kind of more recently we have Magnolia Parks, which you probably know by now. I absolutely love that series, and that is definitely a series that has literally consumed my entire being. And I honestly feel like it has a part of my heart. I think the time as well that I really got into reading was my last year of uni, and that was because I was so stressed and I found that reading was a way for me to just kind of think about something else for a while, and my brain was just completely occupied with whatever book I was reading at the time, and it was just a nice sort of relaxing break from all the other things that I had to deal with, like final year projects and all that. So, and I feel like that's when I really noticed that I was spending my free time reading and wanting to read instead of watching Netflix. Like, I still obviously watch Netflix and shows. I found that I was a lot more drawn to wanting to read rather than wanting to watch a show. I hope that kind of answers the question of how I got into reading and the books that helped me get into reading. I feel like I've just rambled for like 20 minutes. First book series that became my favourite, I'd probably say Magnolia Parks, because that was the first series where I was so invested and I was like, I have to read the next book, I have to. My memory card was full, so if it's moved slightly, allow it. And I can't remember where I was with my questions, but we'll just move on to the next one. Somebody else, what was the saddest book that I've ever read? I'm probably gonna say the one that made me cry the most was If He Had Been With Me. Either that or Magnolia Park's Long Way Home. That's just a really emotional book all around. I don't think it's necessarily the saddest book that I've ever read, but it's the one that made me feel the most, probably. But saddest is probably If He Had Been With Me. What's a popular book you'll never read? That's so interesting. I actually did a TikTok video of this, of a few of the books that I couldn't see myself reading. I will say that I'm pretty open in general, and I would probably give majority of books a go. But ones that I'm just not naturally drawn to that are very popular are things like the Haunting Adeline series. I think it's called the Cat and Mouse series. That just, I don't know, it doesn't appeal to me. It kind of scares me, kind of freaks me out. The whole plot of that is just confusing to me. There's something very, I feel, morally grey about that whole plot. I don't know. I don't want a part of it. There was also Credence. Credence, just the whole concept of it, I don't think I could look past, because I think this is about a girl who moves in with her step uncle and cousin, I believe, and she basically has a love triangle with them, and I don't think I could look past that as a whole. I just don't think my brain can move past it. I don't know. Even if I could move past it, the fact that he's the step uncle doesn't really add anything to the romance part of that plot, in my opinion. Like, I don't see that and think, oh yeah, step uncle, yes, okay. That's just not for me. I don't think it's adding to the romance element of it. I just don't think I could look past it. So there's also that one that I just don't think I could see myself reading. What books are you most excited for this year that have or haven't come out? Oh, I love this question. So books that I'm most excited for that haven't come out yet, I would say Funny Story by Emily Henry, the reappearance of Rachel Price? I was gonna say Rachel Green. I think it's Rachel Price. Yeah, it's the reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson, and the new Maple Hills one, which I think is called Daydream by Hannah Grace. They're probably my top ones that haven't come out yet. My top that are on my TBR, let's have a look. I feel like this changes all the time based on my mood, but at the minute, the books that I'm most excited to read that are on my actual TBR, I have quite a few, but let's just narrow it down. I'm gonna say Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber, just because of how much I've heard about this, and I really want to get into more fantasy this year, and I've only read Powerless, which is the first and only fantasy book that I've read so far. So this is definitely going to be my next one, and this is definitely one that is on my priority TBR and just one that I'm so excited about. So we have that one. And then Flawless by Elsie Silver, just because of how much hype I see about this. And I just feel like I'm missing out. And I just need to know what all the hype is about, so I'm really excited for that one. And then Archer's Voice. I don't know what it is about this book, but I feel like I'm gonna love it. I just feel very drawn to it and I don't really know why. I don't really know much about this one, but it's one of the ones that I'm most intrigued by on my whole TBR. So there's also that one. And then I do have a few Freedom McFadden books I'm also really excited for. I literally love Freedom McFadden and any of her books. So I also have Mile High by Liz Tomford, which is another really popular book and one that I'm just so intrigued by, just to see what all the hype is about. They're the books that I'm probably most excited about. If I had to pick one, I can't. I literally can't. No. I can't do it. That's gonna have to be the answer because I literally can't narrow it down to one. Somebody asked what are your top 5 favourite TV shows? That's a really hard question. That's a really hard question because I feel like what I watch is so... what's the word? Like my favourite shows are just all so different from each other. So my favourite show and actually my comfort show, like I could rewatch this show over and over again. And to be honest, you'll always find me with it on in the background. Literally 24/7, and that's Bob's Burgers. which I think if I had to pick a favourite show, it's probably going to be that. That's also because it's literally my comfort show. So we have Bob's Burgers, but then I also love shows like New Girl, Friends, Modern Family, The Office, but the US version. What else? Oh, there's so many. I also really love Mindhunter, Euphoria, The Bold Type I love, Ginny and Georgia, Gilmore Girls. How could we forget about Gilmore Girls? I have so many. I don't think I can narrow it down to a top 5, so you're gonna have to just take all of them. They're my favourite shows. Series recommendations besides Magnolia Parks and A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. So they're the only series that I've actually finished the whole thing of. So I can recommend series that I'm currently in the middle of that I'm really enjoying. But I obviously don't know how the whole series is gonna go because I haven't read it yet. But current series that I'm really enjoying, I am really loving The Naturals at the minute. I've read the first one, I've bought the second one, I cannot wait to read it. The Maple Hills series, I love. I know Icebreaker has a lot of mixed opinions on it, but I personally love it. And I really liked Wildfire as well, so I definitely recommend the Maple Hills series. Powerless, even though it's only the first book that's out at the minute, but the novella is coming out really soon, and then Reckless is also coming out, which is the second book. So I definitely recommend Powerless by Lauren Roberts. Also a series if you want something a bit different. It's just such a lovely book, honestly, and that's Before the Coffee Gets Cold. It's basically 4 short stories set in this cafe, but they all link together, and it's just so clever how it's done, and it's just such a lovely story. And I think it's just such a nice, different sort of read to sort of break up your TBR if you've got a lot of thrillers or a lot of fantasy or a lot of romance. It's just such a nice little extra book. And I have the second one, which is called Tales from the Cafe. And if you don't know anything about these books, they're basically set in this cafe, but it's a time travelling cafe. And there's a couple of rules about time travelling. Main idea is that you have to get back before your coffee gets cold. It has a few deeper meanings to just the story itself as well. I just think it's a really cute book. So if you want something a bit different, I'd give that a go. But yeah, they're just some of the series that I'm currently in the middle of that I would recommend. Somebody asked, what are your book icks? That is such a good question. Oh, okay. First of all, I really don't like long chapters. If you've watched any of my reading vlogs, you probably know this because I swear I say it with every single book that I read. I just really don't like long chapters. I don't know what it is. I just can't get on board with it. I can't get on board with it. So I'd say long chapters. When you have a book series but they don't all match up, like the spines don't match up. I'm trying to think of an example of that. See, an example of the opposite of this is the Natural series. So you see how we have the author and it matches, and then the little icon, and then the title matches, and then it has book 1, book 2, and it all lines up so perfectly and it looks so nice together. This is good. This pleases me. This pleases my eyes. When book series don't match up like this, so not satisfying. So not satisfying. Or even worse, when they're different heights. No. Why? Why would you do that? What else? I swear I have loads, but the minute somebody asks me, they all go out of my head. I don't love a hardcover. Don't love that. I love a floppy book. So the opposite of that, like a stiff book. Not my fave. The kind that you feel like you can't open properly. I don't love that. I'm sure I have a lot more, There must be like tropes that I'm not that keen on. I don't really like the pregnancy trope, especially when it's at the end of a book and that's kind of in the epilogue. I kind of think, is that necessary? Probably not. Oh, and also stickers on books, but stickers that don't come off easy. You know when they like leave, when they rip and they like leave that mark on your book? No, I don't like that. That's a book ick. That is, I don't like that. Oh, that's such a good question. What's a book that you wish you could live in and be a part of? That's such a good question. My first thoughts are like Magnolia Parks, but then I think I actually probably wouldn't. I feel like that is literally some people's lives in London right now. So I'm kind of thinking maybe Harry Potter, but only Harry Potter if I could be a wizard. If I could be a wizard, then definitely Harry Potter. If it's just me as me and I don't get magical powers, then I'm gonna have to say, I think maybe The Naturals, because I used to really want to be a detective. Part of me still does, and work in solving cases basically. So I feel like that would be my chance to do it if I lived in The Naturals world and became one of the people that helped the FBI work on cold cases. I'd love that. So I'm gonna go with The Naturals. Somebody asked, what's your favourite bookstore? Ooh, so I'm in the UK. So we have like Waterstones, WH Smith, The Works, and then like all of our supermarkets also have books in. So I'm gonna say I love The Works. I am a Works girly. I love it in there. So I'm gonna say The Works because they have such good bargains and I can never go in that store and not come out with a book. But for vibes, I'm gonna go with Waterstones because the vibe in there is just proper bookstore vibes. And they usually have a cafe in there and just amazing. So I'm gonna go vibe wise Waterstones, everything else wise The Works. I literally feel like I'm talking for like 5 hours, so I'm gonna end the questions there. I love doing this little Q&A. I thought it was really fun. So if you'd like me to do more Q&As in the future, let me know. And I'm actually gonna end the vlog here as well. So thank you so much for watching another little weekly vlog. Thank you for coming to spend a few days with me, and I really hope that you've enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video.